Good afternoon. My name is Saki Violetta. Today is June 23rd, 2018. My son Leszek will be asking me questions. You want to turn off?
No, I just want to make this bigger.
Oh, okay. And he will be asking me questions that I don't know of, related to mostly politics, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is from Mary Intra Uvo.
Hello, Mary.
Will the already separated children be reunited with their parents? She's referring to the migrant children.
That would be mess. Oh my gosh. It's like those flipping doors at the bank that you run going around and around.
Revolving doors.
It will be so many disorientation. Jumping and getting out, getting in. There will be a lot of there will be no coordination. It will be a lot of misplacing and not closing completely, because those doors are never closed, so there will be always something that will open, reopen, and it will be like rotation all the time.
So this one's from.
I saw those doors, so that's my interpretation of that.
It might go with this question from Drifty Van Dweller.
Hello, Drifty Van Dweller.
Is the U.S. government wait, no, that's not the one. Okay. This one's also, yeah. Is the U.S. government headed for major human rights violations with punishable consequences?
It's like tsunami. It's taking on and will come back on him. First it's quiet. The tsunami is taking to the
and then it comes
ocean,
in and causes damage.
So much damage.
So there
It
will
will
be
be a lot of consequences. Thank you, Drifty, for your question. It is very interesting.
Here's another one from Drifty. Is the U.S. government inserting RFID microchips into the migrant children?
They have that on some of them. It's a like lineup of points.
They're doing that.
They're doing that. Maybe because that will make them easy to retrace the little ones. We do that to our dogs. So maybe they are doing this to the children to be able to retrace, because the baby, how they can retrace later on.
What? Why are they doing that?
Because they have a power and they want to put a lid on something, so that will be easy for them to retrace those kids.
I'm not following at all.
Because they have a power. It's like a lid on the pot. They can put lid on something. They want to have control.
Control of what?
Of those kids, because they can't trace them otherwise.
Why would they need to trace these kids? They're babies.
Because the paperwork is not traceable. The bracelet that children can take off or whatever.
Trace what? People that have no money? They can go into any neighborhood in Mexico and find people without money.
But they need to trace those kids back so they can give them to the parents right now.
Why are they using the microchips, though, to trace the kids back to the parents?
Parents, yes, because otherwise they will be lost completely in that system.
Oh, so they're using it to track the kids, to know. So they do know where the parents
Some of the little kids, they will do that.
Oh, so it's a good thing.
So I think they are doing this somewhere in the... I saw the lineup of dots, so they will be tracing them. Probably it will be easy for them to find those kids eventually.
Okay.
Because the paperwork will be completely mess. And how can...
Because they're just shuffling kids around right now.
I have to tell you, when I was 3.5, I was taken by the government because I had the tuberculosis. The Polish government was taking us to the sanatorium for the sick children. And they didn't let even my mom, my parents separated that time, so my mom was not allowed to visit me because she was pregnant with my brother. For 9 months, I was in the place like that. When I hear those voices of crying children, it's memories. And they had even over there that time problem remembering which child is which. I had a really nice nurse that loved me, and she called me cuddly baby, and so she wanted to adopt me. So I was lucky, but there was a lot of kids who were dying.
How old were you?
3.5 for 9 months. Okay, so that's what I understand how those kids are feeling.
And you can remember that.
Not too much. I just remember the sitting on the high we didn't have appetite to eat, we didn't want to eat, and those kids probably don't want to eat because they are depressed. And because I was so sick and they were torturing me with the injections all the time, they put a big chair in the middle of the dining room, high chair, and if the child didn't want to eat, they were cuffing that child to the chair and putting a tube so the child will eat, and the rest of us were scared to death, so we were eating. And they have probably some way to control those little kids so they will be eating and they wouldn't be crying and they will be
Well, they said that they were doping them
doping them so they will sleep.
to because there's outbursts, there's certain situations that come up.
And the child 10 years old, they can cut those bracelets if they have those plastic bracelets that they put you in the hospital.
So yeah, an RFID would be
That will be probably
useful.
a reasonable way of controlling them.
I thought you meant afterwards, after they're let back out into...
Well, they will probably still have that ability to control them.
To track them.
To track them.
So this goes well with that story you just told about your youth. Melania Trump wore a jacket bearing the words, "I really don't care. Do you?" For someone who spent so much time in the fashion industry and has a child of her own, this jacket seems it would be in poor taste for the event or any event concerning a first lady. Was Melania Trump tricked into wearing this jacket?
And I have to tell you, I asked that question yesterday. My husband, I said, ask me.
So you asked this question?
I asked
she
my
was
husband.
Tricked?
No, I asked why. I asked my husband why.
Yeah.
Because my conscious mind, first when I heard that story, I thought she was ready for rehab and she had that jacket in her closet. It will be perfect jacket for rehab. But that will be, if I will be a comedian, I will use that joke. But I'm not.
They're very funny.
Very funny, thank you. But yesterday I asked my husband, so I don't want to lie to you, and I saw glasses with paper. I don't think she was aware what she has on the back.
So that's what I was thinking, because...
I don't think she was aware. Probably she had that jacket in her closet and it's a few years old, maybe a few years ago.
Well, no, they dressed her. Like, there's somebody that is... Look, they pay,
But how could she even buy something so stupid?
She doesn't. There's people that dress her. That's the thing.
No, but she has the control. She's control freak about the fashion.
Yeah, but if you're in a rush and someone is putting a jacket on you...
She did that in the car, and then when she was coming out of the plane, she still had the same jacket.
Yeah, because she doesn't look in what's behind her.
Her, yeah. Today you were watching him. He said that she don't know what's going on behind her back.
It seems like the perfect crime, if someone was unsatisfied with the way... Perhaps... Well, let me explain before you jump in here. Like, say I'm working for Melania, right? And I'm her fashion guru, and I see what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm just displeased with the whole scenario. And I decide to get her
get even.
back with this jacket.
So she will show how really she
I
is.
would be fired. But if I'm fired, now I have the ability to go to the press, and the press is coming to me with tons of questions. So they'd probably want to keep a lid on me for doing this, and they'd probably buy me off, or I'm sure I would have signed something, but they
But
probably
you
wouldn't
can't
want me
You
in the
can't really
limelight.
talk about what's going on behind the
Yeah, but
walls.
if it was a situation where I did this, then the spotlight would be shined on me, even
And
if
it
I
will
couldn't
show
talk about
her
it.
real colors that she don't care. I don't think she does. Honestly, I don't.
Okay, enough about her. Okay, moving on. This week, after the FBI's senior officials were threatened with contempt by the Republicans in the House, the FBI was forced to turn over more than 1,400 pages of documents uh, on the ongoing investigation into the Trump-Russia scandal.
So who was giving those information?
The FBI had to turn it over to the
So they
Republicans
did
in the
that.
House. They did, yeah, or else they would have been held in contempt. But the
I know
argument against that is it's an ongoing investigation,
they
so
shouldn't be touched.
you shouldn't be touched. But the GOP, they have the numbers, so they're like, well, no, you're
Because I
giving
know
us.
Rosenthal was
Yeah,
stopping, and he
he
couldn't.
had no choice. Will this disclosure of evidence affect Mueller's investigation?
Some part of it will be tied up. It's like when you are making something and you are making this in a spool so it doesn't go around. For example,
You're spooling up some yarn.
some yarn, something like that. So you will tie up this part, so this part and that part. Selected. Not everything, but it will be selected that they will be controlled. They will connect somehow some pieces of evidence. It's like when you are collecting vegetables in your yard.
Yeah.
And you want to give some of me for me and some for someone else, for your brother.
That's what your vision is.
It's like tidying up something in the spools, so you know who you're giving and this.
Well, that's not really answering the question I asked.
But they will have connection on some, but not everything. The rest is left alone. So they didn't give them everything, but some part they will have control of, because it's not spread.
Who's they?
The Republicans.
Okay, so the Republicans
wants to control this, especially Nunes.
So they're tying up parts of it that they don't want the public to know.
They want to control this, so it will be under their control, so they will get that ability to search from these ones, but not, you ask if it will be the Mueller investigation.
Will this disclosure of evidence affect Mueller's investigation?
Partly.
Yeah.
Not everything, but the rest of this was still growing, but some of them they have the ability to control. It will be selected.
Is Mueller worried about his investigation not being completed?
Yes. Why? He's taking his crown and throwing on the ground, so it looks like they are taking his power. He has a crown, that's what I've seen, and he's throwing on the ground. He is so pissed off. It's taking a power from him. And he knows that without being in power, then he can do too much.
Will he complete his investigation?
Yeah, he will take that shattered crown and put it back. But he has a temper, probably. I never thought, because he looks so calm.
Yeah.
But this pissed him off.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not using the nicest language, but that's what I thought in him. And you remember once a long time ago, I said something about what was her name? The nicest girl in the White House, Hope.
Mm-hmm.
I still have feeling that he is going to pull her by the hair, because that time came to my vision that he's pulling her, so she will be soon kind of pulled back to his office, or something will be related to her. Yeah, you want to ask question and
I
we
don't even
don't
know
know.
what to ask. Okay, that's it.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your orders for Skype readings. If anyone new wants to do it, it's www.psychicvioletta.com, our webpage. Bye bye.